I gotta tell you, there are some fragrances that are super underrated. They have the most magical compositions. They smell amazing, so sexy and so alluring, bewitching. And they have great performance. Some of them, have amazing performance too, and, check all the boxes. Yet, no one talks about them. Why is that? I kind of have an idea. There are some fragrances that just go under the radar. And that's a crime. I think that's a crime. So I want to share with you some amazing gems that have just flown under the radar. Hi my lovely people, welcome back to another fabulous fragrance video, and if you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out my channel. I really appreciate it. I am very happy to have you here and I hope you stick around, and please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. It really helps me grow my channel, and don't forget to like and share this video as well. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, where I post a lot of really fun short content. The other day, I was looking at my fragrance collection and I was looking at it and thinking, okay, some of these are my top 10 for life fragrances. And noticing some other fragrances that are absolutely top notch, but no one talks about. Actually, several of them are in my top 10 for life. Then how come no one talks about them? And then there are some others that are, not in my top 10, but very, very amazing fragrances, like very alluring and attractive and just check all the boxes, but no one talks about them. So before I talk about these beautiful gems that I have a handful here, I actually want to talk to you about an inspired by brand that's, kind of underrated. All inspired by brands are kind of underrated, but there are a couple of them that I actually really, really love. And this brand is one of them. I think they do justice to the perfume that they're inspired by, or the creation that they're creating inspired by a very high-end designer or expensive niche brand. It's Dossier. So I have two perfumes here that I've partnered with Dossier in this video to share with you these two fragrances. These aren't part of my actual list I have here, but I thought that this would fit right in this video because these kind of inspired by brands that actually give us, a fragrance inspired by a very expensive $300, $400, $500 fragrance, that they give a very similar effect, a lot of the times a very close match for like $39 or around that. I mean, that's pretty good deal. That's pretty amazing. So it's, they're kind of underrated because they're not the brand, so I thought this would fit right in here in this video. First one is Floral Ylang Ylang. By the way, Dossier, I believe that they have like a 30-day return policy where you can test fragrances and send it back if you don't like it, which I think is pretty nice. It's risk-free. It's pretty great system, and they give you all these fragrances for a really good price. I want to spray this. This is Floral Ylang Ylang, inspired by Chanel Gabrielle fake fragrance. So let me, you guys, I have the Gabrielle Chanel Parfum, the more concentrated version upstairs. Now, the Eau de Parfum, which this is inspired by, is not as concentrated, but it smells, it performs quite decently too. And this, I gotta say, smell pretty similar, quite close. I mean, it's not gonna be Chanel, but this is very close to Gabrielle Chanel, and this has basically the same notes, you guys. I'm not gonna bore you with all the notes. This has the ylang ylang, the tuberose, the jasmine, just like the original, citrus notes, and all that, orange blossom. There's a little bit of musk, the orris. It's all there. This is great for summertime, I would say even more than spring, but you can start wearing it now. So aromatic ginger is inspired by Louis Vuitton's L'Immensité, which means the immensity, okay? Let me spray it. I have sniffed the original in the Louis Vuitton store. I don't have the original. I have several Louis Vuitton fragrances, but not that one. So I figured, you know, they're quite expensive. So let me try the Dossier one, you know. Ooh, this one's good. I love the Gabrielle one too, but I'm used to that scent because I have it. You guys, this opens with really beautiful, like that juicy zing of ginger, some grapefruit, and some sort of marine notes, which gives it a very like fresh marine kind of opening. And I smell the cister flower. It's kind of like a labdanum type flower. It's in the base, but I smell it already right away. And I can smell the clary sage and the amberwood, all that, you know, in here. So this has very much like pretty much the same notes as the original and smells pretty similar. Anyway, now for my underrated beauties. The first underrated beauty that I have here, I have beaten this horse to death. I know. I talk about this in a lot of fragrance videos that I do. And I just talked about it in my last designer fragrances for spring video as well. This is of course Dior Denotes Parfum de. You guys, this one is the most beautiful feminine fragrance ever, okay? This has that magnolia, the jasmine, the beautiful white florals, but there's something very unique about this fragrance. Now, first of all, this is alcohol free, okay? So it actually, when you spray it, the juice is kind of like that milky sap you get like in these white floral, you know, like trees or bushes, you know, when you pick a flower or a leaf, you get that like white kind of sap, right? It's kind of like that color. It's like milk, and this has that sort of greenish smell that kind of that sap creates, you know, in a way. This is like putting your head into a magnolia and jasmine and, you know, honeysuckle, like all those gorgeous florals, putting your head in it, right, in a basket of fresh, you know, white florals with that green hint. Is just, oh, so good. You guys, this lasts a really long time because this is alcohol free. As you can see, it's kind of like a lotion almost on my body, and it stays. And oh, I love to smell like this one. And I talked about in my layering combo, one of my layering combo videos and a couple of others, the Dior, the shimmering golden body gel with this. So good. And also they have a thicker, more emollient body cream too, the Dior, for the Dior line. Now I must say this is different from the rest of the Dior line. You know, there's the original and a bunch of other flankers. They're all beautiful, but this is very like modern. Even I know like the other ones, the original, for example, kind of 90s kind of fragrance, but I tell you though, this one is like very edgy and contemporary and modern, and so smells so good, so underrated. No one talks about it because Dior doesn't do, I guess, you know, Dior doesn't sponsor anybody, and also like, I guess nobody's, I don't know, they've not discovered it or something. I have no idea. Then you guys, this is underrated, not because it didn't get talked about. It did get talked about because this was one of the hottest releases this year by Tom Ford, but it's underrated in the sense that nobody did justice to this fragrance in their, I don't think, in the way they're not understanding it, okay? This is such a beautiful fragrance, and I think it's underrated because people aren't seeing it for what it is. This is Tom Ford Electric Cherry. My husband goes crazy. You know, he goes crazy for this. When I spray it on, he comes sniffing, and tell you, the first time I wore this, he was all over me. Okay, something about this men love, and several of you messaged me, DM'd me on Instagram and told me that you bought it after seeing my husband's reaction in that video I did with him together. I'll link it up here and down in the description box if you've missed it. So you said that your husbands had the exact same reaction. So obviously it's not just my husband. This one men love, okay? This is kind of a man killer. Men just love this fragrance. I don't even need to spray this one. I didn't need to spray that either. This is absolutely gorgeous. This has that beautiful sour cherry. So it's not as, I guess, deep as a dark cherry fragrance. It's a sour cherry fragrance. So it adds to that. This is like a spring fragrance. It's perfect, that sour cherry instead of a black or a dark cherry, right? It has that gorgeous ginger zing in the opening with the cherry. Oh, so good. It has just jasmine, just like the original Lost Cherry. This to me, I gotta say, I want to say almost that I like this more than Lost Cherry. Well, first of all, this performs better, much better than Lost Cherry. And there's something very unique and sexy and edgy about this, you guys, that I shouldn't say nobody, people who know fragrances understand it. People who understand the notes understand this fragrance. And when you spray it on and you get compliments, people definitely understand it. But this is one of those fragrances that's going to take a little time for people to kind of catch on to, you know? Everybody was expecting like the cherry smoke, the other one they released, like that's what everybody was kind of pulling for. You know, at first that's what I thought I would like more too, until I took a little time to really spray it on, wear it, and get to know it. And I now like this more than Lost Cherry and Cherry Smoke. Okay, so, and when I saw my husband's reaction, come on, right? This has loads of musk that lifts it up and makes it even lighter, perfect for springtime. Ambretolite, which is kind of like amber. There's pink pepper, which adds that like feelings of falling in love to this fragrance. That might have something to do with, you know, but I shouldn't say that, because I tell you, the Kayali Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper 25, it has pink pepper. My husband hates it. So I can't really say that pink pepper is the reason, but pink pepper might do that if it's in the right type of composition, blended with the right type of maybe other notes. Absolutely stunning, underrated in my opinion. And then I have this beauty. Okay, here is the most sexy, gorgeous, stunning fragrance I have ever smelled my entire life. Okay, this is Killian Rosewood. Guys, no one's talking about it, like, except me. I'm telling you, because Killian doesn't sponsor people. I feel like they don't have affiliate programs. Like, I'm one of those people. I do sponsorships too. I do review fragrances with affiliate programs too, but all of those I have to agree with. I have to love them. I have to like them. If I don't like something, I'm not going to review it because of whatever it is. I don't care if it's, I'm not going to accept a sponsorship if I don't like it. I'm not going to go, you know, review something any differently because of an affiliate program. That's not who I am. And I just blurt out the truth and I get in trouble for that. This one right here, you guys, I don't get any commission for, no affiliates, nothing, okay? This one is the most sexy perfume ever. This is the #1 compliment getter. #1 compliment getter, not to mention my #1 fragrance in my entire 400 plus collection. I almost don't want to share this, you guys. I don't know why I talk about this fragrance so much, because I passionately love it, I guess. It is everything you want in a fragrance. This is a fragrance that lasts 12 plus hours. It'll last on you until you wash your clothes, until you wash yourself, even after. You will smell it on you. So it performs amazing. And this projects like feet away. This is one of those fragrances that people will smell as, you know, before you even enter the room. It's got really great big scent bubble. I get so many compliments for this fragrance. It's not even funny. This is one of my top compliment getters in my collection. What else do you want? This is a gorgeous rose fragrance. Guys, this is rosewood, but don't be taken aback by the word oud. If you're not an oud lover, listen. This is, I don't even like to call this, you know, rose oud, because the oud is so well blended into the cyprol oil, which is a sultry, sexy herbal note. you know, Davana and Saprol oil make fragrances smell so sexy, okay? So, you know, it's in here so that the oud is really well blended into it, and this has another super sexy note, leather, okay? Do you need to even talk about it anymore? I mean, this is absolutely gorgeous, and no one talks about this fragrance. I don't know why. This should be all over YouTube. This should be all over everything. This is, by the way, not the... I believe Killian Rosewood is not a new release. This packaging is new. I don't know if the composition, if they changed it. I had several of you who asked me, is that the same as the old Killian Rosewood? I want to say it's not. Okay, because it sounds to me like this is different. This composition is different. I think they might have revamped it and put it in this new red bottle and re-released it. This one is it's a knockout. It's like a, you know, out of this world amazing. Okay, so this is not the old Killian Rosewood. I want to say it's in the new packaging at least. If not, the composition's different too. I haven't smelled the original one, which was apparently released a long time ago. But this new release, this in this packaging, amazing. Hibiscus Majad by Maison Crivelli. I go crazy for this fragrance, and people who smell this go crazy for this fragrance. Guys, I was sitting in a waiting room for an appointment, and this person came out, this lady came out to call my name. And this was a large waiting room with like 10, 15 of us. And when I started following her into the, you know, room, and she said, oh my God, I couldn't wait to ask you, what are you wearing? That smells divine. I was wearing this. And she said that she walked into the waiting room and, you know, she got a nice whiff of this, and she was like, I have to find out who's wearing that. Because at the time she couldn't tell who was wearing it. It was coming from this direction, she could tell, but she couldn't tell which one of us was wearing it. And when I followed her, she was like, so happy to realize that it was you who was wearing it, because now I can ask you. So I told her what this is, where to get it and everything. She wrote it down. She said, I'm gonna, you know, order it immediately. This one, you guys, oh my gosh, another absolute 100% amazing performer. Okay, this and Killian Rosewood, these are like, whoo, the performance is out of this world. This also 12 plus hours. It won't go away even after you shower, won't go away even after you wash your clothes. It's kind of there, you know. It doesn't stain clothes, however, but anyway, this is just like projects like crazy. People can smell it miles away, but not offensive. Both of these are both very feminine, gorgeous, sultry fragrances that people love it. They don't get offended. It's not in your face, like slap in the face like some fragrances. This is hibiscus. You know, hibiscus flower doesn't have a fragrance, so it's a fantasy note. How did they create it? It's by combining rose and spearmint. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. And this has leather, of course. Everything sexy has leather. Oh, so good. And a bucket of vanilla, which makes it super beautiful with that rose. Anytime you put rose with vanilla, mwah, so good. These two are my top two for like top two. Okay, in the top three. This is number one. I don't want to even say this is number two. They're kind of like shoulder to shoulder, but I gotta say, if I were to pick one, it would be this one. But I love this one too. I mean, it's like asking to choose a child, okay? It's not easy. Another underrated fragrance is this one, 724 by Maison Francis Caggian. You guys, this is so pretty, okay? Beautiful fragrance. It's absolutely unisex, but to me, I feel like it smells more feminine. This one, you guys, has those gorgeous aldehydes. This is not your grandma's aldehydes. This doesn't smell like some of the vintage like Chanel No. 5 kind of aldehydes, which by the way, I don't mind. Chanel No. 5, I've come to appreciate it. It's a fragrance that you really have to appreciate for what it is, and it still is the #1 seller in the world, by the way, whether you like it or not. Anyway, this one is a very modernized, very fresh kind of contemporary aldehyde. It's like that bright sunny aldehyde, you guys, with the jasmine together. It almost creates this like very fresh, you know, this is a crisp, clean fragrance, but this also has, don't get smoky in your head. I'm not talking about the smoky part of jasmine incense. But this almost smells like, if you ever smell jasmine incense, especially like Asia, South Asia, East Asia, that part of the world, the jasmine incense without the smoky part, which they're not that smoky anyway, like it's not like frankincense, but anyway, has that beautiful, oh, so beautiful, this scent. But it has a bunch of other notes. I'm not gonna get into all of it. It's beautiful. I think it's underrated because nobody seemed to really, I don't know, talk about it as much, you know. Now, Oud Satin Mood got the attention it deserved. Everybody talked about it, but this one I feel like it's flying under the radar. I feel like in general, Coach fragrances, at least this line I'm about to show you, are kind of underappreciated, you guys. I mean, some of these are really good. For example, this one, the original, this Coach fragrance, I don't know if it has any kind of like elaborate name. I think it just says it's the Coach. This is one of their originals. But anyway, this fragrance, the bottle I'm okay with. I wish there was a cap. But anyway, this fragrance, you guys, I remember, okay, this is not one you can smell very well because of the weirdness of the atomizer. So I'm going to spray it. Oh, this fragrance, you guys, is very sexy. I remember smelling this for the first time. A woman got in my car and it smelled, she smelled amazing. I had to ask her what she was wearing, and that's what she was wearing. This has actually leather in this fragrance, and this actually projects like crazy, especially, you know, in a car. It's more of an intimate setting, but this does project even outside in a more open space. Not beast mode, not offensive, but it projects, not like Killian Rosewood or Hibiscus Mahajad, but it performs well. I mean, no wonder this smells amazing, you guys. It has all the great notes. It has like a juicy peach note, which is super feminine. There's raspberry. There's like pink pepper, which again, you know, invokes feelings of falling in love, bright, you know, soft spice. This has rose. There's gardenia, all these gorgeous florals. And then there's suede in the base, which gives that leather accord, which makes it luxurious and sexy. And you have a huge blast of musk. You have the sandalwood, all those, you know, notes that usually create an amazing fragrance. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's underrated. No one talks about it. At some point, you know, I used to wear this like crazy, and I still haven't put in a dent. Like, you don't have to spray much with these fragrances. I think that's called Coach the fragrance, the original one. And then I have some flankers too. This is the Eau de Toilette, I believe, and I have like the like, look at the floral one. I've used this one pretty much a lot too. This is like the Fiori or the floral something, and this is one of the latest. This is the latest one. I believe this has berry notes. I forget, but anyway, in general they are underrated, but I think more than any of the other ones, this original one, the Coach the fragrance, very underrated. And you guys, this one, Narciso Ombre, this is such a beautifully gorgeous goddess like kind of sexy fragrance. This is that gorgeous yellow floral with that blast of musk, you know, the Narciso musk. Guys, some people just don't understand, you know, the Narciso musk fragrances. You have to really understand and appreciate a musk note to really appreciate Narciso fragrances. Now, if you're not a fan of like the Narciso by Narciso, which is one of the muskiest ones they have, in my opinion, you know, don't worry. This one is not as musky. This is more of the more like the toned down musk ones, but still has that beautiful blast of musk. I never knew that yellow florals will go so well together with musk, you know. Oh, this smells so good. This is one of the fragrances that my husband goes crazy for. He loves this one. You guys, highly underrated. No one really talks about it, I feel like, as much as they should. And you guys, I have a fragrance that I wore to death last summer that I'm gonna wear to death again this summer. This is just, it's again flying under the radar. This was very popular at one point when it was released. This is a fragrance that's, you know, quite, it's not a new release, it's older. I think it was released in 2019. It's like not old, but also not brand new. This is Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess. Do you see the dent I put into this fragrance? Last summer, we went on vacation to Hawaii, and I took this with me. And I went to the beach and I doused myself with it, you guys. There's nothing more perfect for a beach day like this fragrance. There's something about this fragrance for a tropical beach vacation. Oh, perfect, you guys. This is like that. It makes you feel like a bronze goddess, okay? Really, it says it right there in the name. This one is that, oh, this has that gorgeous coconut, of course, but the Tahitian tiare flower. Gosh, you guys, you have any idea how gorgeous Tahitian tiare flower smells? I actually, on the beach in Hawaii, in the back of our hotel, the beach, there were tiare flowers on the beach that I actually did IG stories with, okay? So they are so beautiful. You guys, I'm gonna go ahead and spray this one actually over here. Oh, this one smells like a sexy swimsuit day at the beach, okay? Absolutely gorgeous. This is not your beast mode fragrance. This doesn't last super long, and you don't need to, because you're gonna take it in your beach bag and you're gonna keep spraying yourself, okay? This is that it sits closer to the skin, and that's how you want it to be. You don't want to be like projecting to the other end of the world on the beach. The beach days, like, you know, you want to wear it to smell, have that beautiful scent bubble, make you feel like a bronze goddess, and people right next to you to smell, right? So you can just keep spraying this. This is like a 4-hour fragrance, not very long lasting, obviously. When the sun is beating down, you guys, when it's like a tropical fragrance, they're not like super long lasting, but this isn't bad either. I just absolutely love it. I sprayed it a lot, and it still had, you know, I didn't have to use that much of it still. I used it a lot on our vacation. Absolutely stunning. It's underrated. It like is the one fragrance that put me in that mood of like sexy goddess on the beach, okay? I actually bought the flanker, the Nui version of Bronze Goddess. This is not as good as that. I am talking about this being underrated. The original, the Bronze Goddess, this is the one I'm talking about. The flankers are not, I mean, they're good, but they're not like amazing. You know, they're not better than the original, is what I'm saying. And speaking of coconutty fragrances, I feel like, you know, not very many people talk about this gorgeous beauty. This is Mancera Coco Vanille. You guys, this is one of the older Manceras. This one, again, is like a tropical vacation dream fragrance. Again, this one I took also on our vacation to Hawaii. Do you see the dent I put into it? I'm gonna be wearing this again a lot in summertime. This is a summer fragrance, so is that one. Oh, you guys, this smells so freaking amazing, okay? This is the best coconutty fragrance ever. It's so gorgeous. This also has coconut and that Tahitian tiare flower. Oh, so good. That's what makes this so beautiful. The ylang ylang in it, the jasmine. Oh my goodness, all the great, amazing tropical notes, you guys. Oh my lord, I love this fragrance so much, so very much. And this has loads of vanilla, you guys. A lot of vanilla, which makes it super beautiful and sweet. Again, it's not a fragrance that lasts like 12 hours. It's more like a 5-hour average performance fragrance, but perfect for those beach tropical getaways. Oh my lord, this was perfect. Perfect for Hawaii, I'm telling you. Underrated, not that many people talk about it. I tell you, I'm not a huge fan of the house Mancera. Like, some of their fragrances are too artificial, too synthetic to me, but they do have some gems. This is one of them. I have Mancera Holidays too. I think this one is better than Mancera Holidays, if that gives you a frame of reference. So the last fragrance isn't so much underrated. I think this was very popular in the 90s, but just forgotten. You know, nobody talks about it anymore. But I think it's still a gorgeous fragrance, you guys. They don't make perfumes like this anymore. These are like absolutely strong, like high performing, gorgeous fragrance that do turn heads. And because we have so many more options now, we've forgotten some of the oldies but goodies, you know. This is one of them. This is Tresor, the original Tresor by Lancôme. You guys, what I have, I believe, is the old formulation. I believe they recently reformulated it a little bit. It still smells, you know, very close to the original formula, but I hear that the new one is not as amazing as the original, but I have the original formula here. You guys, this used to be my signature scent somewhere in the 90s. I forget what year to what year, but this brings me so much nostalgia, so many memories. This is such a stunning fragrance. Very complex fragrance structure, and they revealed back then a lot more notes than they reveal now, the fragrance houses. This has like loads of powdery notes. It's a very feminine and powdery fragrance, but it's not just powdery, it's also fruity. It's, you know, floral, it's powdery, it's so feminine. This has like lilac, iris, that sort of blue purple florals. This has loads of rose, which is one of the main floral notes in here, which makes it absolutely divine. Some very expensive rose notes in here, several types of rose. This has lily of the valley, which is one of the most gorgeous white florals you can ever find. Some fruity notes like pineapple and peach and stuff. Amber, there's like sandalwood, musk, vanilla. I mean, name it. All these, whatever they did in here, this scent, you can't find anymore. This type of scent, they don't do anymore. Okay, this is absolutely divine. This is very, you know, this is what a woman should smell like. You know what I mean? Like, I know that everybody now kind of connects this fragrance to the 90s, which is unfortunate. If you forgot that the year this was released and you completely looked at this new, you would be absolutely in love with this, and I'm falling back in love with this, honestly. This is a very strong fragrance. I would say it lasts for a long time, okay, and projects amazing compliment getter. Mainly nighttime fragrance, in my opinion. You can wear it any time of the year. So you guys, those are some of the most underrated fragrances. I can do a part 2 of this. I have many more. I actually had to leave some of them out. I'll do a part 2 because I don't want this video to be too long. Let me know down in the comment section if you want a part 2 of it. What are some of the underrated fragrances in your opinion? What do you think about the ones I talked about? Chime down in the comment section. I love hearing from you guys. Even if I take a few days to reply, I always reply. You know that. You can ask me any question you want about any fragrance or anything I talked about. Okay, so if you haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you doing? Come on, go ahead and subscribe so you can help a girl out. You know, help me grow my channel. And don't forget to like this video if you liked it. Again, subscribe. Don't forget that black button down there. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, where I post a lot of fun content. And I really appreciate those of you who submitted Sephora Squad testimonials for me. I will link that down in the description box. If you haven't had a chance to leave me a testimonial for Sephora Squad, I will leave the link down in the description box. Thank you so much for watching, my lovelies. I'll see you in the next video.